Practice number 2 in the books. We're going to recap everything, best and worst, what matters most. We got sound from Ben Johnson, Kevin Byard. It's going to be a good show. CHGO Bears starts right now. Welcome into the CHGO Bears Podcast, training camp edition, rolling on, and the OGs know where we are right now.
Yeah, is this not the room that brags like some Cub hit a walk-off and he went completely crazy and ruined your life? Was that here?
No, that was Indianapolis.
That was Indianapolis?
Yeah.
No,
that nice Airbnb we stayed in, did a live show from. That was cool.
Oh, yeah, that was that. That was that. Gregory, I miss you, but it is good to be in the Hoge mansion with just Hoge because, whenever you come over here, you just kind of feel guilty because you drink all of Hoge's whiskey and everything else.
Oh, don't worry. My wife is like, who exactly is coming over today? Oh, it's just Carm. Okay. By the way, CHGO training camp coverage powered by Circa Sports Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Greg will join us later on in the show. Today was another closed practice. He's going to bring us the fan perspective and some diehard questions a little bit later on. But as always, we start with our best and worst. So training camp practice number 2. We heard and we told you and all this stuff about how yesterday was choppy. I don't know if today was much better.
The gloves are going to come off here at some point. I can't be super nice forever, but I'm going to try to at least maintain that through the weekend. By the way, open practice tomorrow, open practice on Saturday. Looking forward to seeing everybody out there. I think I'm getting up early tomorrow, Hoge. I got to go parking lot day 1.
Wow. I think pretty early. I was thinking about that this morning. For an 8:30 practice, these fans got to get there pretty early to the Hawthorne Mall parking lot.
Well, as the what'd you call them, the OGs know, I share dog custody with Poppy the puppy, and I am blessed to have acquired her today. So I asked her if she wants to go meet Bears fans tomorrow, which she did last year really well, and she said yes. So we're gonna be there bright and early Friday. Let's go.
All right. Well, if you're out at camp, don't hesitate to say hi. We will be there, and we'll be mingling inside where the fans are too. Let's get into best and worst from today. And
would you like to go first?
I would.
Great.
I thought the best was Tyson Bagent.
Damn right you did.
A lot of the focus is going to be on Caleb Williams and some of these struggles, but meanwhile, Tyson Bagent, who today got the reps with the second team offense. Yesterday was Case Keenum. I think we're going to continue to see that flip-flop a little bit. But a lot of balls on the ground with the ones, not so much with the twos. I had to ask you because I only saw one incompletion. You said you saw 2. There was a drop in there as well. I think you said there was one misfire to the flat that Tyson Bagent had. He would tell you the same thing. But otherwise, I don't think he had another incompletion the whole practice. So that was my best of today. Tyson Bagent, your guy, looking pretty good. And that's notable because let's not forget there is a competition for that backup spot. My worst is, and I like to do this with my worst on a lot of days. Now, some days will be legitimately the worst. Today's more tongue-in-cheek sort of fun. But, look, if you're the Bears and you're going to plaster J.P. Richardson's awesome diving catch all over your social media channels yesterday, then I think he should be able to be upgraded where he's not the last guy in the individual line during individual drills. Most of their drills, they go by pairs, but it's an odd number. So whoever's last has to go through that last rep by themselves. No teammate next to them. And J.P. Richardson's still last.
You're sure that 20 Jade Walker is not last?
I saw 26.
You saw 26. Okay, because I've got video of, I think, but bottom line is he's at the bottom, not to quibble with you. And I agree.
I just think he should be upgraded, at least for a day.
I mean,
Get promoted.
They didn't even give Bagent credit for that throw. I think it was all JP. If you're going to do that, not even pair him up, you should definitely be up the food chain on that line. I don't disagree with any of that. That dude, he certainly looks the part, man. Whether or not he's going to make this practice squad and get some opportunities at some point, who knows?
He had another sliding catch today too. It wasn't quite the same diving, but it was a sort of a slide as the ball was a little bit low and it was on the sideline. So the guy's catching the ball.
I saw one of you compare him to Daniel Braverman, and you will not Braverman Richardson. Richardson is not Braverman. Braverman is not Richardson.
Braverman made the team.
Braverman didn't do anything. Richardson's going to do something. Braverman, he was a brave man, but he was only a Braverman. The Richardson's he's going to make you think Richardson's going to do something. I don't know what, but he's going to do something. He had a lot of special team success at TCU.
Yeah.
JP Richardson.
By the way, I'm not talking about the depth chart. I'm talking about the way the order they go in the drills.
Right.
Maybe he likes to go last.
That's possible.
You realize the spotlight's on him that way.
Right. I mean, if we're doing like knockout and it's a bunch of 9-year-olds getting in line, JP Richardson, because of his diving catch yesterday, should have been like automatically slotted to the 4 part.
I'm just telling you right now, I'm going to make it my goal to have at least one JP Richardson mention every single day in camp.
Let's go, JP.
Okay. All right. Your best, your worst.
So my best of the day, DeAndre Swift stepped in. We were supposed to talk to DJ Moore today. I'm not sure what happened there. I'm sure we'll get him soon. But DeAndre Swift stepped in, and I thought it was an excellent pivot by Bears PR, because in the morning, Ben Johnson was asked about DeAndre Swift. He said, he's like, look, like, what's the difference between him now and him back in Detroit? And in my head, I was like, there's going to be no difference, not to pat myself on the back, which I'm very good at. But that's exactly what Ben said, because DeAndre Swift is very, very consistent day in and day out as far as his work ethic, as far as his drive. And I'm just seeing him on the field running every play as hard as possible, trying to pick up yards, not even, with pads on, just showing a little feistiness that it's just very obvious to me that this guy is motivated. And to our friends at Circa Sports, I actually went on their app today and looked at it. 825.5 is the over-under for Swift's yards. Last year, he had 959. So that's a downgrade on last year.
Oh.
And I think they're just average. I don't know how exactly they do it, but they're looking at his entire career. And so
I like the over on that.
I love the over, right? Don't you like the over there?
Yeah.
I like the over. He's got to stay healthy. It's a running back. You never know, all these things. But I think the ball is going to be on the ground a bunch this year as the Bears try to find their way. So DeAndre Swift, the way he handled his presser, the way he looks on the field, I'm going to give him my best of the day. My worst.
I also like how Ben Johnson talked about
DeAndre
Swift. Just like he is just highly motivated individual. He's not happy about how last year played out. And, those are two intense guys that I think are vibing much better than maybe we thought when the hire was made.
Yeah, and Ben's answer on him, just what I really liked about that too, was that it just shows that he knows his players. It's not just a guy that's super smart with the brilliant ideas for how we can run a play, stumble bum, and everything else that Ben Johnson does. But it seems to that's a knowledge of the individual that I like to see, because it was completely spot on. Worst is the Luther Burden update. We thought, Ben said we thought it was going to be less time, soft tissue. He's here. But to me, there's just a lot of questions with Luther Burden. Like, I was trying to get in there and I didn't, so that's on me. But are the Bears protecting the player from himself? Is he banging on the door to get on the field, or is he saying I can't go? And why? Another fault of my own to not ask questions like, why didn't they address it at the start? Did they think that he was going to be out there? Was he telling him that he was good, and then that changed? There's just, to me, it's this sort of a cloud over the second round draft pick that, even though they talked about it today, credit to the Bears for doing that, there's still a bunch of questions really not answered.
Well, and this brings us to what matters most, because this is also what matters most from today. Luther Burden, this is a high-profile second-round pick that they gave guaranteed money to. He's the first pick ever picked at 39 that gets a fully guaranteed contract. That happened last weekend. It's interesting because, he's also a rookie, so he reported early. He was in there Saturday.
Right.
So that's 3 days before Ryan Poles, Ben Johnson even addressed the media on Tuesday. And then Ryan Poles was on Hoge and Johns yesterday, said he would let Ben Johnson address it, but he also sort of addressed it, saying that, it's soft tissue and not overly concerned about it. He came in ready to go. I'm trying to add all that up and just wonder if some type of setback has happened since Saturday when he reported. Look, I am going to take Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson at their word that they are not overly concerned about this right now. No major issues. The problem that they have that is not their fault is the history of the Chicago Bears and the history of what we have seen covering this team and what you have seen as fans of this team, whether it's Kevin White, we're not worried. Oh no, we're worried. Whether it's Tevin Jenkins, he's got a back thing. We're not worried. We drafted him anyway. Oh, now we're worried. Whether it's even something that didn't really have to do with injuries, but Roquan Smith, remember with the whole, and that was with Ryan Poles here. We're not worried about that. And actually now there's a problem at Family Fest, and now he's traded a few months later. So we're not trying to be doom and gloom about this. It's just, this isn't the first time we've had a fishy situation. Little bit of a mysterious situation. I think this goes back to the spring too. I do appreciate that the Bears are calling it a soft tissue injury. They're addressing it. But we see guys get hurt or deal with injuries like Colston Loveland, and we've seen him out there in front of our eyes every single day. And then there's others, and maybe it's just the rehab process, but we have not seen Luther Burden out there on the field since rookie minicamp. So of course there's going to be questions about it.
Yeah, the other part of it too, the Bears need him. They could use a dynamic wide receiver to pop in that room. There's a lot of depth there. There's interesting pieces. I shouted out on the Adam Johns, Adam Hoge dynamic piece. I shouted out a Maurice Alexander. And
saw that
as my unsung hero of the day, because who's 13? Oh yeah, it's Maurice Alexander, who was a 17th round draft pick in the USFL in 2022. Played for the Philadelphia outfit, and then he bounced around the Lions practice squad and back and forth to the.
So history with Ben Johnson.
So he knows. So Ben knows him, and he's catching a bunch of balls. So that's why he got on the list. But it's they have there's a lot of interesting pieces. But as far as pure dynamic playmaker, that's why they spent the 39th pick on him, because they know they need that third guy who can, perhaps really explode and be a big time difference maker for the offense. And he's just not on the field is a problem, obviously.
It is, but it's also, like I brought up Kevin White. It's much different from that in terms of need, because the Bears, they didn't have wide receivers. They needed Kevin White. And we called it this at the time on draft night when they drafted Luther Burden. It was a luxury pick. They do have DJ Moore. They do have Rome Odunze. And honestly, I like some of these other guys. I like Olamide Zaccheaus. I like him a lot, actually. I liked him when they signed him. Now, they think Luther Burden can be a star. That's why they picked him, despite having two other starting wide receivers already there. And I think Ben Johnson's drooling over the different ways that he can use Luther Burden's speed. But my point is, I think they can get by if they don't have him. Now,
I'm not saying they won't get by. I agree with that. But the speed factor that he could bring could be
it's different level, no question.
And the versatility could be huge.
Yeah. All right. So that's what matters most today. That's the best and worst. I want to bring up one quick thing that I'm not worried about. I just have noted it 2 days in a row, and there's a good element to this and a maybe a small minuscule concern to it. As long as we don't see it going forward, I think we're going to be okay. But obviously I like the Drew Dahlman signing. Big fan of Drew Dahlman. One thing I really like, I don't know if you noticed this, shotgun. He fires that ball back there.
There was a wide right on one of them today. Was that him?
Yes. Well, that's what I was going to get to.
Okay.
The accuracy on some of these shotgun snaps in the first 2 days has been a little bit off.
Okay.
They haven't all been strikes. And one got away from Caleb Williams today. It was catchable, but because of how much he fires those snaps back, I think it just it wasn't the easiest catch of all time, and the ball got away. So I'm just saying, 2 practices in, not overly concerned. And actually, I like the fact that the ball's getting back there quicker. We've talked about this the last couple of years with this. Whether it's the accuracy of the snaps or how slow some of these snaps have been coming back to Caleb Williams and Justin Fields the year before that, when it was more of an accuracy issue with Cody Whitehair. There's a timing element to that. That matters. So the quicker you can get the ball back to the quarterback, that's a good thing. So I like that. But they got to be strikes because they're harder to catch if they're offline. Just something I'm going to continue to monitor over these next few weeks in camp.
It's a good monetization. That's can't be having connection issues with the center and the QB to add on to everything else that's going on right now. That would not be good, Adam Hoge. So you keep on that. I'll pay attention too.
Yes, I will pay attention to snaps and special teams. And that one kick today was way off.
We had a bad kick.
Yeah,
I must have missed that one.
Well, maybe we'll save it for a little bit later.
I can't wait.
Yeah, well, I will say that. Okay, Jonathan Kim, just a fun way to go into break.
Kim Dog
had one kick that went so far right it missed the
netting.
The netting, and John said this in the moment. He was like, "I think that might be the worst kick I've seen since the infamous kicking competition in 2019." And back then they didn't have the nets back there. So all those kicks were like going into that swampy area that's adjacent to the Hallis Hall building. So they finally put the netting up, thank God, but he missed the netting. And I think there should be a rule that if you miss the netting completely, you have to go get the ball.
Yeah, and find it and walk out of the building. Yeah. If you miss the netting, I'm sorry, you're cut.
No. Here's redemption though.
Yeah.
For Jonathan Kim.
I like Jonathan Kim.
So, the cameras behind the netting, the long pole that goes up, if you come out to practice, you'll see it. It's basically situated, it's splitting the uprights right in the middle. His very next kick nailed the pole in the middle. Could not have been more dead center.
Redemption Kim. That's right. It's not how many times you fall down, it's how quickly you get back up. Right, Gregory?
That's right. Let's go to break. Speaking of Greg, he's once again helping us. He's just a great teammate.
Nobody does it better. This guy, he's just selfless. He's never even looked in the mirror. He doesn't know what he looks like. He's such a good team guy.
I don't know what that means. We're going to hear from Ben Johnson and Kevin Byard next. But first,
Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary is your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping, a place where all kinds of visitors can explore, discover, and purchase a wide array of high-quality products. Sunnyside has everything you need to elevate your summer. It's a one-stop shop for all your cannabis needs. Sunnyside has an expertly curated menu with over 100 strains to choose from, and plus easy online ordering and in-store pickup. If you're a pro, we've got you covered with over 100 strains on the menu. They're all over the city as well and in the suburbs, from Champaign over by Wrigleyville, right down the street from the Marquee. So visit sunnyside.shop for bright buys every day, including 50% off your first 3 online purchases. Enter the promo code HICHGO at checkout to qualify. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. Bright buys every day, only for 21 or older or Illinois medical card holders. And for existing users, use the promo code CHGO50 off one Cresco Lab brand item. That's right, Mark Carman. And you can get Empire today with us at CHGO Bears as well. And just like your team needs a home field advantage, your team needs a home floor advantage, and Empire Today can help you get that. We've all been to those big box stores, wandering endlessly around the aisles, doing everything yourself, from hauling the materials, looking for an installer, coordinating. Well, at Empire Today, they don't let you do that. They take care of you because they live and breathe flooring. You can get precise measurements and have all your questions answered. So schedule a free in-home estimate today, because some things are just better at home. CHGO listeners can receive a $350 discount when using the promo code CHGO. Yes, you heard that right. A $350 discount with code CHGO. Restrictions apply. Visit empiretoday.com/CHGO for full details.
All right, keeping things going, another practice recap episode. I love this time of year. I know Carm does. He looks forward to it every year.
I do.
Okay, good.
listen, I get to hang out with you and,
Yeah.
with the new teammate Johns. Are we, having a nice solid bonding with
Don't see John's in the Hoge studio.
No, we don't.
He hasn't been in a Hoge studio since 2015 when we launched the show.
That seems like
He used to come to my basement in Park Ridge.
Seems like a you and John's issue there. I don't want to get in the middle of you two.
I think it's a John's has 4 kids issue.
People do have lives.
By the way, John's will be on the show tomorrow. This show, CHGO Bears, he's going to join us tomorrow with another hit from Hallis Hall. He'll be doing that 2 or 3 times every single week, which is one of the perks of John's. He joined us. Become a diehard. You can also check. Carm referenced this earlier. We have practice reports coming out daily that Johns and I go back and forth, a little bit of a Hogan Johnson writing situation for you every single day after practice, but it also features cameos from Mark Carman, who is highlighting is it a player every day or just whatever you want?
Well, right now we're doing unsung heroes, but when we run out of those, we'll probably pivot to
that's on brand for you.
The what was amazing about Tyson Bagent today report. Something like that. I'm giving you something every single day because you love me and I love you and we're a perfect CHGO Bears family. Damn it.
What is this, Barney?
I love you. Caleb loves me. He's gonna figure it out someday. And the mishmash, Patty Wag. Let's go Bears. Can we get the audio before I listen? We need a little levity here, Hogue.
Look at the comments, by the way. Everybody's loving the setup.
Yeah,
appreciate it. I will say there was quite a bit of investment in the internet situation here to make sure we didn't have a repeat of 2 years ago.
Did you deliberately try to make that 99 look like it could be Jervon Dexter Sr. and not Dan Hampton because it is Dan Hampton and I love Dan Hampton?
No, I did not. It is a Dan Hampton jersey. We had to cut it off, unfortunately, because our heads need to be in a certain spot. I believe when Greg is here, though, and we're panned out a little bit more, you'll be able to see the whole thing. You might also be able to see that Wisconsin Badgers.
You have to pan out pretty wide for Greg. I really
not anymore, dude. The guy looks great.
No,
Give
he
him
does.
a break.
He does. It's unbelievable. Listen.
Enough.
He could have done up downs better than some of the Bears did up downs. He's in such great shape.
Which we're about to get to here. But first, Ben Johnson keeps. Breck says end the show. Carn might get kicked out of here before we get through the month of August. I'm also okay. Let's hear from Ben Johnson. Ben it's like almost every day he talks, he gets me excited about what this offense could look like with what I've had the theme of the offseason, just things making sense. He was asked today, I believe by Pat Finley, hey, do you have some idea of how much you want to be pass versus run? And he could not have given a better answer. I'll explain why after we hear the clip, but here's Ben Johnson.
Every game is its own entity, and that's what I learned. I mean, I saw it for a number of years when I was in Miami. The New England Patriots were really the top of the league for so long, and each week you just didn't know. Offense and defense, they just continued to morph, and they had their opponents guessing. You didn't know what Belichick was going to pull out front-wise or coverage-wise on defense. You didn't know what McDaniels was going to do on all. He might throw it 50 times. He might run it 50 times. And standing from afar, seeing how dominant that was, I think that's a really good tactic to have. That's something that I would like to do here as well. You know, the elements play a role. Our talent plays a role. Who we're going against plays a role. It all plays a piece into the puzzle, and that's what's fun about each game week.
Look, the NFL. I really believe that this is what separates good coaches from great coaches. Like, you can get by having an identity, running what you run, not having to change too much, especially if you have amazing talent or you have a Patrick Mahomes or something like that. But most teams don't have that. And you look at what Ben talked about there was really maybe what I know everybody talks about the Patriot way and all this stuff, and there's certainly much to be said about the culture and stuff, but the level of obsession that Bill Belichick had and the capacity within his brain to be able to basically change his team on a week-to-week basis. And there's one of the best examples that we've talked about many times before is when he took the Bears blueprint in 2018, when they shut down the Rams at Soldier Field in that cold December game,
Right.
and changed his defense in between the AFC Championship game and the Super Bowl, and came out and said, we're going to use Vic Fangio's defense. We're going to play that way, and we're going to beat the Rams. They held them to 3 points and won the Super Bowl. So Ben Johnson, if he's able to actually execute what he's talking about here in changing, looking at every game like it's its own thing, and the players are able, I mean, your players have to have the capacity to handle all that too, and your quarterback definitely does as well. But it takes a lot of preparation and a lot of stress on the coaching staff to really do what he's talking about there. But if they can do that, even if the quarterback or the talent is not, all pro level, they're going to win more football games just because of the coaching alone.
Yeah, I love what he said in theory, 100%. Because listen, if the run game is working, why do I need to throw it? If you can't stop it, I'm just going to run it down your throat. I'll control the clock, and let's let DeAndre Swift have a 200-yard day. I mean, why not? And vice versa. If you can't, if we're able to zoom down the field and you can't stop Caleb from throwing the football, then I don't need to have some balance if that's just the way that the defense is dictating that you're going to play. I love all that. The thing about it, though, is to do that, you got to have a versatile roster who's able to be successful in multiple ways. So I think the Bears have the talent to do it, but to actually execute what he's talking about it's going to take some time, and maybe they'll get there. I love it in theory. Absolutely. I don't play one way. I play multiple ways. You can't box me in at all. I'll do it a zillion different ways. I'm going to game plan for what you don't do well and think about how we can scheme against it.
And let me explain this to just talking about levels of football and why this is so important in the NFL, and why I said what I said off the top, which is why I think this separates good coaches from great coaches. Because you can get away with it, not doing that exactly. But if you're going to become what was thrown out there by Kevin Byard, and we're about to play this in a second, the word dynasty. Look, if you're let's talk about high school level. Okay. If you're Loyola or Mount Carmel,
right,
and you just got a roster of 100 players when most teams don't have that, you have all this talent,
and you're 3 times the size of who you're playing,
you can go out there and run the exact same plays every single week and
right,
probably go undefeated and win a state championship
right,
game, and unless you play each other, and then you might have to adapt and change your game plan a little bit and be worried about the tendencies that you're throwing out on film on a week-to-week basis. If you're in the college level and you're Georgia or you're Ohio State, same thing. Most weeks you can probably just go out there with your talent, run what you run, be who you are, win the football game. Unless, okay, we got Michigan this week or we got LSU this week, we're going to have to adapt here a little bit, change things up. In the NFL, dude, the difference between the Kansas City Chiefs and the New York Giants is it really, from a talent level, it's so thin. And so, yes, there's a lot of weeks you could probably still get away with it, but most weeks, if you're going to be like the Lions were and go 15-2 last year, that takes an awful lot of changing things up. And we saw this in the quarterback show, where they're just like, we're just going to run the football because that's all we need to do right now. We're going to be a running team this week, a passing team this week. And boy, I hope the Bears are able to execute that, because that can make a huge difference. And I saw Bo Chanton's comment earlier, and he's not wrong. This is what led to Matt Nagy getting fired. When Matt Nagy's going, I didn't come 100%. Here to run the I formation, dude, the reason why he was asked those questions that week and why that answer was so wrong that week is because that's what it took to win that game that week against the Chargers that they blew.
Right.
All you had to do is run the ball, but he got away from that. So you got to be able to adapt, not just to your talent, but on a week-to-week basis based on who you're playing.
I'll give you one example where the Bears actually did that well, and it was, of course, Tyson Bagent's first start against the Raiders. Nothing to do with Bagent, really, or very little to do with it. The Raiders didn't want to play that day. The Bears ran the football down their ass. I mean, he was, Bagent threw it 29 times, but that day, shout out to you, Matt Eberflus. Yeah. They were like, y'all aren't ready to play? Okay, fine. We'll keep it on the ground. And they did, and they just kicked them all over Soldier Field that day.
It's interesting. The last 2 times the Bears played the Raiders, John Gruden got fired the first time. The second time, Josh McDaniels, I don't think he got fired right away, but the writing was on the wall. You could feel it, that it was coming, because the way they played that week. It might have been right after that. I forget. This time around, though, when they play this year in Vegas, which, by the way, you should come with us, truefantravel.com. It's going to be a great weekend. Pete Carroll ain't getting fired after the game. I can tell you that.
No, he's not.
So it's going to be a little bit of a different experience from a coaching standpoint. All right. We'll take another time out here. Have more from Kevin Byard that we want to play, and then we'll bring Braggs in to give us the fan perspective and all that. But keeping things rolling here, day 2, practice number 2 of training camp. We have you covered every single day here on CHGO Bears. We got more coming next, but first.
Hey, listen, finances can be messy and confusing while Monarch Money acts like your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control so you can stop earning and start growing. It's more than your average budgeting app. Monarch Money is a complete financial command center for your accounts, investments, and goals. So don't just manage your money, start building your wealth with 50% off your first year for our listeners. Without a clear financial picture, financial dreams can feel out of reach, while Monarch Money makes managing money simple, easy, and even for the busy lives like Mark Carman's. You know how busy he is, and that's where you got to make sure you hit up Monarch Money. So get control with your finances with Monarch Money and use the code CHGO at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code CHGO. Make sure you're hitting them up. And when you saved your money because of Monarch Money, well, then you can hit up our friends over at Circa Sports Illinois. That's right. Our good friends, whatever the sport, the app to bet is Circa Sports Illinois. Circa Sports, it's sports betting the way it should be. Circa Sports Illinois has high betting limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service. Bet on all your favorite teams in every game this season. Spreads, props, futures, or in-game, Circa Sports has it. Fund and bet like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. You got the Cubs and the White Sox coming up for a 3-game series on the South Side. Well, you want to throw that money down on the Cubs. I know they've been struggling lately, but White Sox coming in just in time. So download your new bookie today at circasports.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Make yourself some money with our good friends at Circa Sports Illinois.
Shots fired at the White Sox by Gregory. We'll see how that plays out.
You know what? You don't want the wrath of Greg Braggs, because Greg Braggs knows, and Greg Braggs does, and Greg Braggs is. He is an entity unto himself. Like that, Gregory?
Just stop talking about him.
Yeah, it's not healthy.
He's going to be coming up on the show in a second. All right, real quick, before we get there, we have some sound from Kevin Byard. We were just talking about Ben Johnson and his coaching philosophy, and Kevin Byard had some an interesting, very positive way of explaining Ben Johnson.
We're trying to win the Super Bowl. I think Brisker said it in an interview when he was doing his training camp, but it was true. Ben Johnson wants to build a dynasty, and we want to be that dynasty. We want to be the guys that kind of get this thing started. Myself, want to be one of the guys that kind of build the foundation of that and continue to go as long as we possibly can. So that's the goal. But like I said, man, we have a long way to go to be able to accomplish that.
And a couple other things from Kevin Byard I want to make sure you guys heard today. One was very interesting on his teammate. Obviously, it'll be a talking point throughout the season with Jaquan Brisker and the concussion history.
When we're done with that, I want to follow up on the dynasty thing, because we got to talk dynasty. That's the fact that the word dynasty was used today is one of the more incredible things in Bears history. But keep going, please.
Wouldn't you want to build a dynasty? Isn't that the goal of what we're doing here?
Yeah, but I'm in the Jim Mora playoffs. Dynasty. Dynasty?
He's just saying it's what they want.
I understand. That's a big word. That's a big.
Can you spell it?
Yes, I can. And I've experienced one, and it was because there was the greatest player to ever play anything miraculously wound up in this town. But okay.
I throw the Blackhawks in there too. All right.
It's a mini D. It's a mini D. The Bulls had a full D. That was a dynasty.
Oh my goodness. Kevin Byard on Jaquan Brisker and how he plays the game.
Energy. We all know he's an energy guy. I mean, we start the practice out, he's screaming. That's just kind of how he is. Early in the morning, 8:30, NBA young boy. He just has he just has this certain aura, this energy that I love about him. You know what I mean? Like you said, he's going to bring the juice. And that's, like I said, be who you're going to be every single day. And that's what I love about him. Every single day, he's the same person. And he's a heck of a football player. I mean, let's not get it twisted. I know he had the concussion last year, but the first 5 games, he was on a tear. So I'm expecting the same thing for him this year again. He has to play the game the way he knows how to play it. I'm not going to have him go out there or second guess anything. Play how you play. Obviously, kind of almost like being a big brother. You know what I mean? If I see any symptoms or something like that, I'm going to be the first to report them. You know what I mean? But at the same time, he's not going to change the way he's going to play. I don't want him to. I want him to continue to be the ball player he's always been his whole life. This game is tough enough to play, and it's super fast. Don't be out there second guessing yourself. He's a hit stick guy. You know what I'm saying? You know how he's going to play, so don't change it up at all.
I like that explanation or description. Hit stick guy. My ears perked up a little bit when he, without it being asked, said, "If I see symptoms, I'm going to report it." Because with Brisker's last 2 concussions, this has been a thing where it wasn't reported until it was self-reported the next day.
Yeah, I'm going to take him at his word that he will, and hopefully, more importantly, Jaquan will be the guy that will be protecting himself. But last year the Bears did not do a good job, where it was clearly that he was concussed, and they still put him back out there, and then they explained that in a weird way that he didn't show any symptoms, but then he did show symptoms when it was obvious to one and all that those are some serious symptoms right there. He was literally knocked out.
Well, Brisker wasn't knocked out.
When he collided.
No, the other guy was knocked out.
Brisker was knocked out too. He fell limp for a second there. Yes. But here, regardless of any, the part about that is he's speaking the truth. He has to play the way he plays. He didn't do anything wrong on the hit that
right.
Cost him his season last year. So how do you not do that when he literally technically was dead on right? But that's the scary part for Jaquan, that he was playing the game in the right way, and he ended up missing 2/3 of the season last year. So it's just super scary. Jaquan's a great guy. I love his energy. I love everything that Kevin's talking about him. Every time you get to talk to Jaquan Brisker, he's as likable as they come. But it's also like, I don't know, dude, you had a long life to live. I know you love this, but there's also, there is more to life than football, as hard as it is to say. And I also get it. You're never going to do anything in your life as fun as playing safety for the Chicago Bears. So I get him putting all that, throwing caution to the wind and being out there.
All right. One more piece of sound. This was more of a fun one. I don't want to spend 2 days in a row talking about up downs, but this was funny because, so if you happen to miss it yesterday, Dennis Allen had the entire defense do 40 up downs. We heard that's the toll you got to pay.
Right.
40 up downs. Apparently that's it. It's not like they're going to be doing this every day. It's just like sort of a start a training camp ritual. 40 up downs you got to do. Well, there's one guy who wasn't here yesterday, and he still had to pay the toll. So here's Kevin Byard telling this pretty funny story.
It was different. It kind of took me back to like high school. It almost kind of felt like punishment a little bit. No, it's special to me just because of, I think, the way DA kind of puts it to us is like, you got to pay the toll. It's a buy-in. You know what I mean? It's almost like an initiation, and it's special. We had a guy, Alex Cooks, who actually reported here, got released, and actually they signed him in, I think yesterday. He flew back into town, and to start practice, we all circled around him, and he did his up downs. Kind of felt bad watching him do it by himself, but at the same time, it's just like, that's just one of those deals, like the initiation of his defense. And then once he finished, everybody was like, welcome to the defense, and got on with practice. So it's funny to me because he was saying the same thing, like if we get to week 15, and we sign a guy who's going to do 15 up downs. So that's going to be 40 up downs, which is going to be tough. But no, man, that's just what it is, man. I think that's the type of family atmosphere that DA is creating for this defense.
So I guess whenever you join this defense, even in week 15, you got to do 40 up downs.
Well, and you should be ready to do them in week 15.
Yeah.
Let's go. It should be 60 up downs in week 15. He also
do we have the Andrew Billings part of that?
I see.
I was hoping that was still in there.
It was in the next question, so we don't, and that's too bad. Maybe we'll bring it back tomorrow. I'll take the e-car on that one. But he talks about Andrew Billings, that they filmed the up downs and they were watching everyone do them, and there's a film of 340-pound Andrew Billings who had like Dan Levy style conditioning apparently yesterday. And just
Nobody gets that reference.
he's watching the show right now, so I just had to do it. Shout out Dan Levy for why are you calling on me? But anyway, Billings, 340 pounds, halfway through his effort to get back up was apparently like that. That was all he had left, was just moving his arms up, which was pretty funny.
They didn't say if he got through it or not. Maybe he eventually did. That's also funny. They were watching the film of it. It's a good way to have an initiation process, stick to it, but also have some levity.
Yeah, who was doing it?
Yeah.
Well, hey, if we're gonna film it, Billings, let's maybe not 40, but let's see you get to 20 today.
All right, let's bring in our guy, Greg. Greg Braggs. And I feel like since I don't know, Carm took 9 shots at you during those 40 minutes. The floor is yours. Any payback you'd like to redirect?
I think we should make Carm do 40 up downs when he's at the Hawthorne Mall parking lot here tomorrow morning.
You know, that was kind of a funny part of that, though.
I mean,
Dan Weeder made some comment like, "That's it.
It's a light toll.
It's a light toll," and
Byard wanted to kill him.
I think
in a nice way.
I think Byard wants Dan to have to do 40 up downs.
Light toll. Well, yeah. Wiederer's pretty easy. He's an in shape Wiederer. He probably could do it.
He could hit 40 golf balls in a row. There's no way he's doing 40 up downs in a row.
All you gotta do is stand up and get down, up, down.
Okay. There it is, Greg. He's volunteered to do it to show how easy it is.
All right, tomorrow morning.
What's the difference? Real question. What's the difference between an up, down, and a burpee? Or is it the same thing?
I think it's mostly the same thing. Someone in the comments clear that up.
If I can do 40 up downs.
I think burpees,
if it's a burpee.
Jump up.
You bring your legs to your hands and you get up and then you get back down.
See, I think the up down is just you go up and down. You don't have to.
I can do 40 up downs. I treaded water yesterday for another 48 minutes. Take that, Braggs.
Did you really just for 48 minutes?
I did a 23-minute stanza and another couple of stanzas. I was in there. It was going.
Must be nice not working at 8 o'clock every night trying to get all the shows on the air.
Actually,
right,
it really
Greg?
was between 8 and 9. It took if you want to be on, if you want the timing on it. Last person at the pool. Thank you very much. But hi, Greg.
Hello. How are you guys?
I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't wait. So let's get into it here real quick because I know we're up against it here in a few minutes. But just my quick observations of the day. Obviously, we've been busy doing some different things. Make sure you tune in tonight for the first Brick by Brick podcast here coming up tonight with Lance Briggs and Jerry Azuma. Excited for that one to debut. We recorded it this morning. Talked to, kind of walk through the, Lance and Jerry talking about how they get through hamstring injuries and talked a little bit about, what it's like for a defense to go up against 12 personnel. I know that was something asked today to Ben Johnson. And so got into some of the different elements in that regard. So Jerry and Lance had some really good thoughts. So make sure you tune into that. So my number one observation is just reading through some of the reporting. I think I saw from Courtney Cronin that Kyle Monangai had a breakout run with a little cutback at the end zone. So I don't know, for you guys, could you give a little perspective on that? I don't think you guys have talked about that yet.
Yeah, no, we haven't. I'm gonna abstain from making any too many grand conclusions about the running game without pads on and without live tackling. However, I will say this: I like the schematic stuff I've seen so far, and there are some big holes opening up. And yes, Monangai kind of looks the part so far. Alex Shapiro leaned over to me and asked me if he thought it was a stretch if he named him his camp player of the day or whatever. And I'm like, no, I think he's somebody who was on the list. It looked pretty good. It looked pretty natural. So yeah, that's what I'd say about Kyle Monangai today.
What would the speed feel like? I mean, again, they're not in pads, but
he's faster than Carm.
Well, yeah,
he's not super fast is the answer to that. And he is faster than me also. I'm optimistic. I'm a Monangai guy, as you all know, but I'm just on the fly here looking at his receiving yards, and he had 252 in his 4 years.
That's a big day today.
252 in his 4 years at Rutgers. Okay. which ain't a lot. He doesn't. The reason why I'm bringing that up is he doesn't look super fluid to me catching the football. I think it's.
How many catches did he have?
He had 38 total catches.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, hey, I got two agendas that I'll be pushing this summer, and they're two rookies. That's Ozzy Trapillo and Kyle Monunga. I know Karan Amagaji got first team reps. Sounds like today in team drills for left tackle. So we'll see that get alternated until Braxton Jones jumps into the fold here. Quickly, my second observation. I'm not going to do 3 today, just 2. Obviously, tomorrow's the first open practice. Tomorrow and Saturday are the first 2. Certainly excited for that. For all the fans that were lucky enough to get tickets to go out there, I'm excited to sit with you guys in the bleachers and harass these guys as they walk through. But there's another side of me that is super nervous when you look at the forecast for the next 2 days. We've got 90% chance of rain both days. So brace yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. There's a very good possibility that we're driving out there for nothing but this price of playing poker with training camp. So it's just nothing really you can do about it. But excited to get out there tomorrow and nervous that it's going to actually come through for us. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Tomorrow morning looks okay. I think the rain's going to be later.
Well, it's just so humid. It's
Yeah.
almost like Florida weather at this point. So you just never know. I was out earlier today cutting my grass and pulling some weeds, and I about passed out. I think the real field temperature said like 111 degrees or something crazy like that. So that's it. Those are my only 2 observations. I know we got to take a quick time out before we get into some diehard questions. I know I got quite a handful from everybody from our Discord channel, so appreciate everyone's support. So if I may, I'll just throw it to the break here. When we come back, we'll do some of those diehard questions. New vehicles are in store at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and this is your chance to score a great deal at the Employee Pricing Plus sales event. Right now, lease the new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab for only $399 a month for 27 months. Plus, shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. The expert team at Ray CDJR is here to help you during each step of your car shopping journey. They prioritize affordability. You know you won't overpay for the vehicle you need. And with Ray's Price Promise, you can shop confidently with no add-ons and no hidden fees. The price you see is the price you pay. It's just that simple. Don't miss out on the employee pricing sales event for huge savings on the Ram 1500. For more information, visit Ray CDJR today on Route 12 in Fox Lake or online at raycdjr.com. And of course, got to give a huge shout out to our good friends over at Shady Rays. You want to look good in the summer? Well, you hit up Shady Rays. You know that moment, the one when you realize you left your favorite sunglasses at the beach or on the roof of your car or at a gas station 3 states away. Well, we've all been there. But then you find Shady Rays, and it changes the game. These sunglasses are made for real life. Seriously, good-looking, polarized, durable, and not stupidly expensive. The wild part is, if you lose or break them, even on day 1, Shady Rays will send you a brand new pair. No guilt trip, just replacements. So now I can actually wear my sunglasses without fear on hikes, at concerts, on the boat, wherever, on the golf course, of course. Shady Rays is eyewear that has your back. So we've teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Head to shadyrays.com and use the code CHGO for 35% off. Polarized sunglasses, try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people.
Hey, quick reminder that if you want more training camp coverage, of course, our guy Adam Johns is filling that cup and crushing it. So make sure you become a diehard. We got that intro Hogan Johns diehard special going on right now. You can get that sweet T-shirt for $36 for year 1. It includes everything that comes with being a diehard, all of the content for all of the teams we cover. 20% off all merch, 20% off all events, or if you want to upgrade that a little bit, that hat from Branded Bills, which is a great hat company, really high quality stuff. That hat looks sweet, and that's $59 for year 1, includes all of the same things as well. All right, let's get to the diehards. Speaking of diehards, let's Greg, what do the diehards want to know today?
Oh, they got a handful of them. So like I said, we'll try to buzz through them, almost a little bit of a lightning round, because certainly want to, include and get these guys involved as much as we can. I know we're a little light on super chats, so don't be shy to get your super chat in. We'll try to read those at the end of the show as well. But Noah Watson here asking about that left tackle spot. Has anybody caught your eye? Obviously with Karan getting first team reps today and Ozzie Trapello getting the first team reps yesterday. I know it's really early in the game, so just curious from Noah's standpoint if anything's caught your eye so far.
Yeah, I mean, no pads. So I'm paying more attention to what the rotation looks like. I still think it's interesting. Second day in a row, Braxton Jones was with the ones actually when they did like sort of the short little walkthrough as a team. So I still think that means something. It would be unfair. We didn't have the greatest vantage point today because they were on the other field. We kind of had to be in the end zone and some stands. It seemed like there was more pressure today to me, but from our angle, I don't know who it was on specifically. So I don't want to say, oh, they had more pressure today because
what was the length of practice today?
105 minutes. Yesterday was 90. Today's 105.
Okay.
So they were allowed, and that's CBA. They were just allowed to go longer today.
It's an hour and 45 minutes, Greg.
Thank you. I didn't, you're right. I didn't know.
Yeah. I know.
So all right, let's get into the next one here. Like I said, we'll buzz through these. You guys can kind of take turns if you want, however you want to do it. MF Doom put in a few here from our Discord channel. So shout out to Doom. He said, what does the rotation at strong side linebacker look like? Who's first, second, and third string among Hippolyte, Sewell, and Amen?
This is what I love about our Diehard Discord, because like y'all ask the real questions, man. You don't want what's at the top of the food chain. You want to get like deep into what's really the nitty gritty. Way too early to answer that question.
Well, it's not in the sense that Noah Sewell's been with the ones.
That's true. That's true. Noah has, and I thought it was interesting yesterday that TJ Edwards, I asked him about, what are you looking for that third spot? And he mentioned physicality. Someone who's, everyone looks great, but someone who's physical. And as far as pure physical stature, Sewell is that guy. So,
and I know Gary, that was one of his diehard questions was, are you surprised by that, Hoge, that it is Sewell getting the first team reps over Hippolyte after everything we heard about Ruben in the summer?
No, because what we also talked about in the spring and OTAs was how Noah Sewell looked good. He looked faster. He looked bigger. Looked like really good shape. I know at one point, I don't remember if it was Ben Johnson or Dennis Allen, but one of them sort of singled him out as somebody who would look pretty good. Now Hippolyte too. But you're a rookie. You got to earn it a little bit. So let's let this play out. And again, no pads on. So
exactly. Hard to tell right now. Same thing with the offensive line. Just throwing a little bit of a comment in there. Ozzie Trapello's getting a lot of reps. Whenever I'm looking over there, they're 75. And what I saw today, I wasn't watching him a ton, but when I did watch him, he did fine.
Yeah, I think Noah Sewell, I believe a couple years ago, one of the better stories I've seen at camp when they were signing autographs, there was somebody that had a hearing disability, and he did sign language for that person to.
Wow.
Yeah, it was cool. It was really cool. It was when Noah was a rookie. It was a pretty cool moment. So shout out to Noah. All right, let's get into the next one here. Chicago Bears for life asking, on a scale from 1 to 100, how much are we worried about how Caleb has looked so far? 2 rocky, outings for the offense here in the first 2 days of practice.
96. It's up there. He's got a long way to go.
So
I'm not going to
low for Carm.
Look, I wasn't thinking about it from 1 to 100. I guess we can. I was actually thinking about it in terms of if my worry level was 1 to 10, with 10 being the worst. I probably was at a 2 days ago, and I'm at least at a 3 now. So, but we're still. So I guess that answers the question. 30 out of 100. I can do math on that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Let's bring this one in, the offensive surprises here, Steven. Because I think this kind of piggybacks off this, where, obviously we've seen some up and down training camps where offenses really have a tough time finding their way. But Daveman asks, Off-season, preseason obviously aren't predictive of how seasons will go, but curious how instructive you've all seen it over the years covering the Bears. And over the years, has there ever been an offseason where the offense looked choppy at best, but ended up having a good year? For example, in 2013, the offense was very good. Did they look it in camp? I'll start with this one. I can tell you, when they had Martellus Bennett, Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey, and Matt Forte and Jay Cutler, that offense that year at camp looked great.
Yes.
It was the first time I'd ever seen receivers making insane catches on a daily basis. And the same can be said for the 2018 Bears before Khalil Mack was traded here. That offense that year with Allen Robinson, Taylor Gabriel, Anthony Miller, Tariq Cohen, Jordan Howard, they were making plays that entire camp. Maybe I can't remember exactly how the first week went, but I know that, it was fireworks for most of that camp. It was exciting. You could feel a tangible energy with those. So I don't know from your guys' perspective, if you can remember a year where it was choppy and then they ended up being good.
Well, no, because you just named the two decent offensive seasons I've covered in 15 years. There's not many choices really to go off of a year where the offense was actually good. And that's why I was going to answer the question is no, Mike, I know people try to minimize the offseason and minimize this stuff, but my experience is it actually does carry over. And I've talked about this before, like a couple years ago when Justin looked great throwing to DJ Moore and mostly good when he was throwing to Cole Kmet. And that's about all he looked good at throwing during the season. He looked good when he threw the ball to DJ Moore and Cole Kmet, and then everything else was a struggle. So that's why especially when I combine that with, I hear the head coach and some of the players talking about a sense of urgency to get this thing going. I get that we can't make grand conclusions after 2 days, nor should we, but we're about to flip the calendar to August here in a week. And so there does need to be a sense of urgency with, I think, 18 more practices through the preseason games that need to be figured out here. Otherwise, my worry level is going to keep going up.
Yeah. I got nothing to add. It's not good right now. But he's so talented that with working with Ben, that it could pop at any moment, and he's got it. That's how I look at it. I'm not saying it can't happen, because it absolutely can happen. Hopefully it will happen, all of it. Right now, this is a new system with a lot coming at him. It's just going to take a minute. I
would say in 2005 and 2006, I mean, this is going way back, but when Rex Grossman and Kyle Orton were trying to figure out who was going to be the quarterbacks of those teams, I can remember those practices because, run game, obviously you're going 2-a-days. Lance talked about it on our show here that you'll hear tonight. 26 straight 2-a-days they had back in the day. You're not seeing that anymore. But at the same time, I can remember both quarterbacks just trying to figure out who was the better of the two. Rex could throw it deep and everything looked, that's all fans want to see are the deep touchdowns at camp. But Orton had a little more underneath consistency. And so I think maybe that's probably the answer, is that 2005 season where Orton started out and then they finally brought in Rex against the Atlanta Falcons and Michael Vick. And that was a huge game when Rex finally threw an 18-yard pass for a first down. And I think you thought you saw the Messiah here in Chicago because we hadn't seen a first down.
So low.
So yeah, exactly. So I would say probably those 2 years where you didn't have this high-powered passing attack. You did have a very good run game, but how much you saw of what that offense could be capable of at camp. Then they end up being the best rushing team in football. The year they go to the Super Bowl, they were actually not just ranked first on defense, but they were ranked first on offense. And a lot of that had to do with one of the best offensive lines we've ever had and a really, really great run game with Thomas Jones. So I think that's probably where the answer is, but that was a long, long time ago.
It was a phenomenal pull by you right there. Really well done.
All right, let's do it. Let's sneak one more in one really super fast, and then we'll hit our overtime.
Okay, really super fast. The most lightning fast. Mark's not allowed to say anything. Oh, we'll answer this. Miller says, if you and Carman had to play in a game this year, what positions are you two playing and why? Well, we're certainly going to be on both sides of the ball. I'm playing center. Carm's playing 3-tech, and I'm going to run him over.
It's a good answer. The actual answer, though, is you both are the water boys. So am I.
I mean, I like myself in the slot. I don't think you can cover me, and I will shake you. And yes, I am dealing with some Achilles stuff, but
We did this on the roof of the building with Cole Kmet
Yeah.
throwing us routes when I almost ran off the side of the building trying to cover.
yes, and I shook you, and like you were.
I had a pass deflection. Don't try to rewrite history here. Anyway,
that's because Cole was being nice.
One more mention, become a diehard, allchgo.com/diehard. You also can go to hoganjohns.com. It'll take you directly to our Hogan Johns intro offer as well. Get all the perks. Come to Vegas with this too. We're going to have a great trip here as we hit overtime on CHGO Bears. All right, we got a couple more things to get to, including something with the Packers I think is hilarious. Before we do we have more questions too, Greg?
I mean, it just depends on where you want to go with this.
Okay.
I know we want to give a shout out to Arena Club. We do have a couple more, but we appreciate everybody, supporting and getting included here in the show. But however you want to do it, Hope.
Yeah, let's do our cards from the vault segment here, sponsored by Arena Club, and Greg is going to take it from here.
Yep, that's right. And when you go to Arena Club, you can get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/CHGO and use the code CHGO. It's pretty great website if you like to looking to buy, sell, trade, or rip open a pack of cards. It's all digital. You go on and they have all these different options from silver to gold to all these different types where you can get a pack and open it up. And so I've got one pack here. Next time we'll share the screen so you guys can see all this stuff as we get through this. The last couple we've opened, Ryan Sandberg, a couple weeks ago, our thoughts are certainly with him as he continues to have his battle right now. And then last week, I think we pulled a Jackson Dart, who I think threw an interception on like his first pass. And so now, as we rip open the gold pack for football on Arena Club, I don't know if you heard that. Okay. We have a Bo Nix.
All right.
DNVR will be happy.
There it is. A Bo Nix. We're not selling it to DNVR.
We are. We absolutely are.
Or to Eric Kramer.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
We should gift it to Eric Kramer.
We can give it to Bo. Yeah, we can give Eric Kramer a Bo Nix card. I like that.
So yeah, shout out to Arena Club. Make sure you hit them up and use the code CHGO for 20% off.
All right, let's why don't we get two more quick questions in, Greg, and then I think we got to most of the stuff in my notebook, so we're probably good there. And then I want to bring up these Packers unis, which are hilarious.
Okay, as we were kind of talking about before of with the offense being choppy, and is this going to be an indicator of how the season goes? What do you guys need to see for this to be as a team, not just offensively, but as a team where you go, oh yeah, this team is going to compete for the division this year? Like, what are some of the benchmarks for you to be able to say that this summer?
It would just more consistency on offense. And specifically smoother operation when they get to the line, get lined up, run all that. So we're not having these false starts and re-huddling and all that stuff. So that's one. Two, more passes completed with the first team. And then that sort of is where things get a little murky because you also want to see the defense play well, right? So from that standpoint, a little bit more back and forth, I'd say, in just terms of good plays. We all know what good football looks like. We all know what efficient football looks like. And so if we can at least get to the point where it's a little bit more even and more competitive, it'll help when the pads go on. That's how I would answer that question.
Okay. All right. Then I think the refs question I think is a good one. This is definitely a training camp-esque question. I think really falls in line. Philip J. Fry asks, does the team supply the refs or does the league supply the refs for training camp? And also, how ticky-tacky do you want the refs to be at camp? You want them to call everything, get it down right, or only call egregious ones to keep the day going?
It's a great question. I don't know the full answer to. I do know that there didn't used to always be refs at practice, and now they're pretty much there every day, including in the off season. I don't know who's paying for them. However, today there was a group of college football refs that were there, and I know that that's a frequent occurrence because those guys are trying to get reps and prepared for their season to begin as they ref some high-profile games that just happen to be at the college level instead of the NFL level. And this is a little timely because I did tell Carm at practice today that he should have become an NFL referee. I think you could have done it.
Well, yeah, ship might have sailed on that, but I am thinking about from your suggestion, Hoge, and actually I've been thinking about it even before that I think I could be a
I
quality
don't
ref.
think he's an NFL ref, but I definitely could have seen him as a basketball ref and get out there and do the high knees back and forth.
Oh, don't give me a high knees guy.
Carm screams high knees.
If I go, let's just say hypothetically, Gregory, I go high school ref this year, and I'm doing a game somewhere around the region. Are you coming out to heckle?
Oh, absolutely, without
Okay.
hesitation.
Okay.
Without
We might have 20 diehards at that game.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say that there's a potential that I might meander my way into doing that. At
So
least- yeah.
my final thing before we get to making fun of that team up north that shall remain nameless, I am disappointed in our diehards. We came up with a new segment yesterday, and I didn't get any submissions today in the Mark Yourself Useful here with Carm, and I know Carm had some homework with yesterday's submission, so I don't know if he actually did that homework.
Nope.
In the
Sure
first
didn't.
edition. So I'm disappointed in Carm. That means it's sleeping Carm at the bottom left because he
What was
promised.
the homework? I remember that I had it. What was it?
Well, you're gonna have to go back at the end of yesterday's show and figure it out. But then the diehards also let me down today because I wanted some submissions for tomorrow's tasks for Mark, but we do know he's going to be doing 40 up downs in the parking lot tomorrow. So that's how he's going to mark himself useful.
That is how he's going to mark himself useful.
Thank you. I look forward to the opportunity, and I can't wait to see you out there tomorrow, Greg.
Poppy's
Yep.
going to mark something else.
And Poppy's going to have we'll have Poppy do her business before we get to the parking lot just to be safe. But
If I drive all the way out there and practice gets rained out, I'm driving to Wisconsin and I'm playing golf. And I'm not helping you guys with anything.
What is it done? That doesn't rain in Wisconsin?
Wherever the rain isn't, that's where I'm going.
You don't have to go to Wisconsin.
we'll find something for you to do.
Yeah,
Don't worry
I
about
know.
All
I'll
right.
do the ads again.
Are you having a good time? You love us. You don't even miss being on the whole show.
Yeah, no. I don't care about the show. I want to be at practice.
He'll be here, and he'll be here tomorrow, and I'm gonna hide all my expensive whiskey.
Yes, you should.
All right. Before we get to super chats, let's look. The Packers. Everybody's trying to have these throwback things. They're coming out. Yesterday we had the Browns. Those I guess those were alternates, not throwbacks, where they have a new helmet that has there's zero color brown on it. It's black and orange. Okay. And then the guy fell in the water as he was filming it, which was kind of funny. I enjoyed that.
Whoops.
Today, the Green Bay Packers debuted some very beautiful Chicago Bears uniforms that they're going to wear this season. So if you're watching on YouTube, the one on the right is what the Packers are going to wear in some game this season. The one on the left is what the Illinois Fighting Illini already used last year. Those helmets are basically the exact same. So this looks like a combination to me of just taking the Illini helmet and the Bears Monsters of the Midway.
You are the pride and joy of Illinois. Love it.
Can you go back to the other one where we all know that jersey on the right. That's the Bears Monsters jerseys that they wore for many years.
Yeah.
Their throwback.
Yeah.
The one on the left, it's the same jersey. The stripes are slightly different, spaced out a little bit different, and the color is obviously the Bears ones were a little bit more orange, but other than that, it's the same jersey.
This is just a terrible job by the Packers, and they should be embarrassed. Greg, would you like to say anything to Green Bay?
I've already seen on the Twitter sphere that they're in denial about this. They're trying to project and deflect and yell at Bears fans about what they've done the last 20, 30 years. But you know what? Just own it. This is an embarrassing thing for your franchise. You guys are literally wearing Illinois jerseys, and that's the home of Dick Butkus, and so that's a checkmate for everything you want to say. That at least gets us like 20 wins back, at least 20 wins for you wearing Illinois jerseys.
Look, I get apparently these are actual jerseys they wore in 1923. Obviously, the helmet was a leather helmet. That's why they're doing the leather helmet thing.
Oh, you mean when George Halas saved their franchise?
Yeah, exactly. But look, here's the thing. When the White Sox go and they do their throwback jerseys, they don't pick the ones that had the blue collars and the shorts. Okay, you don't have to pick those ones. So if I was the Packers and I was trying to come up with some new throwback unis, I mean, they're not new, but just pick a year where we can make some more money by selling these jerseys. I just wouldn't pick the ones that look exactly like the Bears.
Yeah, it's not a good job. It's a bunk franchise that's headed to the bottom of the NFL. We all know it.
I mean, it's bad karma, and that's what it is. So I look forward to seeing what game they choose to wear it. And something tells me it's going to be a cursed jersey, like the pumpkin orange Bears jerseys, where seemingly nothing ever went right in those. I think this is going to be their cursed jersey now. So I look forward to it.
Are the Bears still wearing orange on orange this year?
No, they do. They still do the one throwback that they wear. That's not. I wish they'd wear the one you just.
I'm talking about the orange helmets with the orange.
Oh yeah,
they still do. They were still doing those, and I don't really like it.
I don't think we know the answer to that. I got one shout out and one snidbit before we go. Unless this
snidbit,
it's more of a shout out actually.
Okay.
Rick Gregg. For anybody who listens to the radio in this town, he does sports updates on the WBBM.
Great last name.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. And Rick's always super helpful, and he's a great guy. But what I did not know about Rick is that Rick actually has phenomenal hands. There was a ball yesterday that was errant. I forget. I actually think Bajan threw it. It skipped and spinning hard, coming up, and he one-handed grabbed that thing with his left hand with a pen in hand and just handed it right back to the Bears. And it was one of the better plays I've ever seen in media history. Rick Gregg, you deserve a shout out for that.
Sounds like somebody who should be playing on the softball team.
Great point. I should ask Rick Gregg. That could be, be our shortstop, who everybody in the league hates.
Good thing you have me as your director of scouting. I can't believe your mind didn't go straight to that immediately.
Yeah. Well, you at least you're making a contribution. Thank you.
Technically, he'd have to play for Odyssey, right? Well, he wouldn't have.
He doesn't want to do that. That's not where his heart is.
Is that it? Can we get supers?
Well, I mean, a show in reverse. Do we want to play the Ben Johnson talking about how the media went crazy about throwing everybody out of practice yesterday, just to wrap this up?
Do we have that?
We do.
Okay, sure. Why not? Yeah, we should probably address that. So I found that kind of funny.
So early in this morning, Ben gets up there, and everybody was talking about how Caleb and that they pulled him out of there, and we apparently were overly excited about this. So this was Ben, if you missed this earlier today, talking to the media about the reaction of when he pulled the ones off the field.
I know some people enjoyed me throwing the first team out of practice. Not the case. We're on a time crunch, as you guys all know. We got 90 minutes there that first day. We're up to 105 here today, so just need to keep things moving on along there, or else other guys weren't going to be able to get their reps. So, but point is, though, we got to be on our P's and our Q's, and every minute, every rep is really valuable as well.
Did you not like the way that was perceived out there?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Like it is what it is. Our guys, we got to end up executing, getting in and out of the huddle a certain way, and it wasn't that way, and so we'll be better today.
That what it was, just getting in and out.
Yeah,
Is that on Caleb, or is that everybody?
It's everybody. It's everybody. We're learning. We're growing. There were some things from the springtime expected to carry over. That was probably one we just don't have any tolerance for anymore. We got too far to go.
Do you find that they're very receptive in those moments too?
Yeah. Everyone they know it's not good enough, so it's just keep the train moving.
So shout out Dion Miller, shout out Mark Grody with the questions in there. And I loved how he slowed down and said that.
Yeah.
Throwing the first team out. Well, you didn't. No one said that you threw him out. At least we didn't.
No one said you threw him out of practice. It said you took him out. They went to the second team.
You took them off the field because they deserved it. You did a great job, Ben.
And regardless of whether we're quit, and I don't think he's upset by that. I think he
He loved it.
Was just trying to clear it up a little bit. But that being said, the point, and he mentions this too. I mean, the point's the same. Whatever it was, and Cole said this yesterday too. Cole Kmet. It should have been something they knew how to do, and they didn't do it right.
Right.
And there's only so many reps in practice, and you wasted basically the timing that would take 3 reps on one play, and you never ran the play. So we're on a time crunch here. Get the second team their reps.
Well, and also Cole made a great point. Like, look, there are guys that are fighting to make the first team. Like, I don't know who was at left tackle in that first rep, but
Ozzy
Trapillo wants to impress. He wants to do the rep. So doing it right is a benefit to guys who are fighting for positions.
All right, let's get to supers. I don't know how many we have, but
We got Crystal.
oh yeah, of course we have Crystal. We love Crystal. But first, Cody. Cody, $5. How can I watch every Bears game this season? Last year I purchased Sunday ticket. However, Bears games were still blacked out. I don't know where you live, Cody. If you don't live in Chicago, though, and you purchased Sunday ticket, you should have been able to watch all those.
Cody, you need to buy 8,000 streaming services, and you'll be able to see every NFL game. So next year, it'll be up to 9,000, and it sucks.
Or
honestly.
you know how you can watch every Bears game? You can go to every Bears game, and that means you can come to every one of our tailgates. Isn't that sound nice?
Yeah.
Go to allchgo.com/events. Come to our tailgates. Going to be a lot of fun. If you're a diehard, you get a discount.
Do that, Cody.
Who's next? Crystal? Light on supers. Crystal, $10. Light on supers. We can't have that. Great show, guys. Hopefully see you Saturday. I'm just ready for the season to start. Love you guys and bear down.
All right, Crystal coming out to practice. I think we should pregame. What time's practice on Saturday? Same thing, 8:30?
Yeah.
Why can't we do a 6 o'clock? Little coffee. Just sit
So,
around.
I was going to say, what are we pre-gaming with? I got to work.
6 o'clock coffee. You bring out your Surface over there, and we all have a hootenanny. Be great.
Sounds terrible.
Put a blanket down in the parking lot. Greg could bring Uno. You got Uno over there, Gregory? Operation? What do you got?
I got Operation. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Operation. Great.
Quackinator, $120. Became a diehard today. Want to dedicate it to my guy Carm. This man gets way too much hate online. He's the reason I tune in daily, even during the offseason. Also has the best track record for predicting the Bears season.
Quackinator, you're in the will, and I actually did think about my my prediction today. So quack. It ain't gonna be. It's going down, but hopefully it'll come back up. I'm giving myself a little bit of time, but Quackinator, thank you.
It would be a funny way to like overreact to camp days, like just sort of as a bit. Just be like, based on what you saw today, how many games are the Bears going to win?
Based on what I saw today?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of talent out there. I'll still give them 7. Let's get to 7.
Oh, wow.
But
that's not what he wanted to say.
Well, I mean, there's part of me that if it goes exactly how it went today, they'll win 2 games.
Well, that's what the game is.
Oh, if that's the game, fine. 1 win. They're never going to score. It was horrible.
They got to be better. There's no question. All right. Sangray Kim, let's just be honest. $5 super chat. I should have said that. Let's be honest. This is not what an elite quarterback looks like. His processing is just too slow, like Boston. Need to cut our loss fast and maximize Ben. That is definitely an overreaction.
Let's not do that.
Sangray, another $5. We got the wrong QB last year. Again, we learned from Boston. Slow processing is never getting fixed. Cut our loss, get a vet QB, and go the golf route. Well, I don't know if you can do that now. By the way, Justin Fields broke his toe.
Toe jam.
He's apparently okay after a scare at Jets practice today.
Hang in there. You don't need to go busting on him. He wasn't busting. That's too harsh.
He's still a starter in this league.
He won 4 games last year as a starter, and the Jets made him a starter too. So let's not go too crazy on Justin.
All right. What else we got? That it? Or are we doing that one?
Ovo Bluntrola saying, anyone got any advice for going to practice
I
tomorrow?
think it's blunt roller.
Okay.
I think that's what
Ovo,
he's going for.
OVO Blunt Rolla. That's what it is. Anyone got any advice for going to practice tomorrow? First time going, so not sure if there are any heads up. Well, like I was saying, the buses line up at Hawthorne Mall. Early in the morning, there will be a lot of people in line. The later you get, the more you'll have to wait for a particular bus. Now, they do run a lot of different buses in, kind of in a cycle. So they move pretty quick. It's not like you're just waiting for one bus to get there and come back and get the rest. So they do cycle them over pretty quickly. And then you're able to get to the bleachers. It's not like Bourbonnais where you're fighting over. The one thing that's nice is if you are able to go to camp about House Hall, there isn't 15,000 fans there to fight over limited bleacher seats. There's enough seats for everyone, so you can enjoy the walkway as you come in with all the different interactives in the store there. Stay hydrated, and you got to bring a clear bag in if you want to bring something. So that's it, and have fun, man. If you see us there, say what's up and come sit by me.
Yeah. The guy to hang out with at practice is Braggs. You want to meet him. You want to find him. He is the mayor. No one does it better. And
I just want to see who's the first person with a beer at 8:30 in the morning.
That won't be Gregory.
Yeah, I don't like beer.
Well, I know that, but I wasn't saying it was going to be Gregory. I just want to see which fans are actually drinking beer that early. Because remember, practices are even earlier now.
Yeah, and it's going to be 800 degrees. But God bless, get in there. Start the day off right.
Yep. All right. Yes, Hawthorne Mall is. Yes, that's exactly where it is. Milwaukee and Routes 60 Town Line Road. All right. Tonight, brick by brick. Greg, what time can we watch this?
We're scheduled to air it at 7 p.m. Central with Braggs, and Azuma, the Brick by Brick podcast. Shout out to Eric, our guy out in Denver, putting together these different graphics that you'll see here now. Really appreciate his hard work here, getting all this together. Obviously, it's been a heavy lift with the Hogan Johns podcast coming out here in the last few weeks and everything that's gone into building both of these shows over the last few months. Everybody behind the scenes, from Eric and Jake and Tony and Emma and Steven and everybody else. It takes a lot of lifting to get things off the ground, and now season's getting underway. So episode 1 tonight, and then we'll continue to do weekly shows with Lance Briggs and Jerry Zuma, who have done a great job, and we're starting to build our chemistry like we've been building through the summer. So excited to do post-game shows with them here coming up in a month, and excited to keep doing shows here weekly where we're having tangible practices and preseason games to talk about.
How did you get your name in the middle of the two of them? How did that go down? Because I would have thought that you would have been dead last third, with a lot of dots after their names. And
I didn't. Yeah, I left it all to them, and I guess it just rolls off the tongue. I don't really know, but I'm just grateful for it all. These are two guys. Obviously, when you talk about training camp back in the day, as somebody that went to camp at Bourbonnais every single year for a lot of days to run around and chase, getting these guys autograph and, yelling from the stands when they make a big play, now to be able to do shows alongside of them and host these shows. And I'm very grateful for it. And so I'm excited, and I just appreciate everybody that tunes in and supports the program.
And I don't know if you guys are paying attention, but we are, I think when we get into these games, when we have pre and posts on the same day too, I think we're up to now 4 days a week. We have 2 Bear shows.
Yeah. Mondays we have Bears After Dark and CHGO Bears and Hogan Johns. So that's 3 on Mondays. Then Tuesdays, CHGO Bears.
I honestly didn't know we were still doing Bears After Dark. I thought that's what this is, Brick by Brick.
We're doing Bears After Dark on
Monday. What is that? Who's doing that show?
I'm doing that show.
With who?
I've got my guys. Obviously, Adam Rank is returning, as he has been here for the last year. And then my guys, Phil and Shane from the Tape Never Lies Network, are going to be joining here weekly starting Monday night.
Feels like something I should have been consulted on, but okay.
No,
that's a new show.
Yeah, because
That's 2 days in a row I've learned about a new show on our network.
congratulations.
Listen, Braggs is the commissioner. He is the CEO. He goes over, he has a private jet where he goes to Spano's house and he brings
if you would have read the press release the day Hogan Johns was announced, you would have seen the rundown for the season in there, which included Bears After Dark. So that's on you.
But it didn't say brick by brick, so I thought that was the same thing.
It did say brick by brick. You need to go back and read your own press release. Thank you very much. So we're excited for all of this because Mondays during the
added stuff in there.
No, we did not. It's in there. And Mondays, Carm will be with Briggs during the day. So then Braggs will be at night on After Dark. And away we go. So going back, 3 shows on Monday. CHGO Bears on Tuesdays. Wednesdays, Hogan Johns and CHGO Bears. Thursday is CHGO Bears and Brick by Brick. Friday is Hogan Johns. Sundays are 2 post-game shows and a pre-game show. Are you exhausted yet?
Not as exhausted as Steven.
I'm exhausted.
Steven just had a heart attack listening to you say all that.
That is amazing is what that is. Well, hey, Gregory, congrats. It's awesome for you.
That's what's great about what we do here. We have different voices, for whatever palette you want to, have, if you like Hogan Johns, that's great. They're over there doing their thing and their journalistic integrity. Yeah. If you like Carm and me going crazy and driving Hogue nuts, tune into this show every day. If you want to get the players' perspective, if you want to get ranks perspective, we have it all for you.
Everyone comes together on this show. Everyone. We have a piece of Lance, we have a piece of Zoom, we have a piece of you, we have a piece of me, we have a piece of Hogue, we have a piece of Johns. Everybody comes there. This ain't just the Carmen Braggs hang out with Hogue, toddy, dotty. Although that is a great.
Is that the second time you said hottie toddy on this show?
I need a hottie toddy,
but
I got the
other one, the hoochie-nanny, or I don't like what?
I did not say that, but you just did, and that's amazing. All right, Greg, we look forward to the show tonight. I'm super excited for you for real because just I get exactly everything you just said about what
you produce.
She would say yes to that. She's in there. What is that? A Dr. Pepper?
Don't start. Okay, we need to end the show. I still have editing to do.
Is it a squirt? What do you got? A grape crush over there?
It's Dr. Pepper. Come on, Diet Dr. Pepper. All right.
Even worse. All right. Enjoy Braggs while you can.
Exactly. Who's going to host all these shows?
I thought I had the guy off the soda, but oh well.
Okay. We're going to keep it rolling tomorrow. It's Friday. The fans are going to be there. We're all going to be in here. Carm's got a new notebook. He is called Carm's Notes.
Right here.
Let me see that.
It has 0 things written in it.
He showed me this 3 days ago, and so far,
it's just
these are the notes.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. I got to use my phone, but I have a new notebook. It's in my bag, and it will get used at some point, probably once we get in studio for the season.
This is a real notebook, and I need to go because I need to finish my laminated roster cards, and I'm not even joking about that. Goodbye. We will see you tomorrow. We'll be right back here, 3 o'clock, CHGO Bears. We have a lot of fun. We're going to have more fun tomorrow. Thank you to Steven for producing. Thanks to Greg for jumping in. Thank you to all the diehards with all the questions. We'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll see if the offense looks better. Please look better. Bye.
We all silly like the mayor.